Right. So, last time, we started working with the Crimson Fleet, and we were told by Commander Kibuya Kande to find Neva Mora, and we were given a shipment of Aurora to basically sell to Adler Kemp on Cydonia. After that, and gaining their trust, we were given the coordinates to the key from Neva, and we met Delgado, who is the leader of the Crimson Fleet. As part of another test, he sent us down to the surface of Suvorov to basically break into the lock and find more information about Crix's legacy, which is a desolate or abandoned Galbank transport ship carrying a ton of credits that Delgado wanted more information on. We were sent there with Mathis, who had ideas of betraying Delgado, but we were not with that.
Why
So
the
now let's
hell
talk
did you
to
lie
him.
to Delgado about me? You didn't do all this work alone. Whoa, wait a minute. You think I was gonna... Oh, come on. All I've been doing is looking out for you this whole time. Hey, if I wanted to kill you, we wouldn't be talking, right? Look, about all that killing Delgado stuff, why don't we just forget about everything that I said? You know, like it never happened. Yeah, of course, don't worry, I'm good for it. Now, let's get the heck out of here. I need a damn drink. Let's get back to the key. Save the chatter for later, and just get us back to the key. I need a damn drink. Let's get back to the key. You expect me to be impressed?
Sorry about your eardrums. Was not expecting that to be so loud.
Hurts like hell.
expecting that to be as loud as it was. Guess we're just gonna leave Sarah where she was for the time being.
Vessel ID recognized. Welcome home to the Key. The Key acknowledging fleet vessel. Welcome home.
Better to stop here than down on the surface of Suvorov.
I always thought heat leeches were just pests. Never considered trying to raise one as a pet.
Yeah?
Well, well. Everyone... Take a look around, Jim. But just in case I need... Good thing I'm not here to... I carry most of the standard hardware. You know, kinetics, electromags, energy, even a few explosives. Occasionally, I stock a few smuggled items. Basically the stuff SysDev doesn't want you to play with. Just don't screw me over or I'll be inclined to give you a free demo. With your head as the target. Not being intimidated by me is one thing. The fleet? That's another. A little advice, Sadiqi? The fleet's trust can't be bought. You earn it. You bleed for the fleet bleeds for you. Pure and simple. Anyone who says otherwise is either lying or getting ready to stab you in the back. Ah, please, I don't need your concern. All I care about is separating you from your credits. So let's leave our professional relationship at that, all right? I'd argue Boggs got me beat as far as customer base goes. But when it comes to profit, I am on top. A good gun's what makes all the difference out there sometimes. And for some, it's the only thing they'll ever trust. Weapons of all shapes and sizes to handle jobs large and small. Ammo too, of course. Take your pick. All right, see you around.
You want to survive? My gear may not be bulletproof, but it's damn near club. What, me? Nah, not anymore. When it comes to aim, there ain't no one worse. True facts. I mean, my friends like to say I'd have better luck talking someone to death than shooting them. Yep, my talents are best suited for making protective gear. Helmets, vests, suits. You could say I'm a tailor, not a fighter. Well, only the best tactical gear to protect your ass this side of the galaxy. Metal plated for when you're up against bullets. Leather for those jobs that might require a subtle touch. All made by yours truly, of course, except for a few used odds and ends that no one's gonna miss. Let's get you set up. See ya.
For God's sake, drop some of that rubbish already.
Need something?
There you are. The hell took you so long?
It's about time. I was about to fly down and loot your bodies.
Not now, neighbor. Well, you said you found something. Hand it over. Demanding the credits up front, huh? You're learning, Rook. You are learning. Don't worry. You finish the job, and you will get paid. But first, I need to sample the merchandise.
Translation. Give him what you found before he puts a hole in your chest.
Oh, excuse me. Forgive my impertinence. What I meant to say was, give me whatever you found right now before I blow your goddamn head off. Please.
Just cut the crap and give him what you found.
That's it? Just one slate? After losing so much of our crew, it better be a map with a big red X on it. Well, I'll be damned. Legacy wasn't referring to Crix's fortune. It's the name of an actual ship. A Galbank transport probably loaded with credits.
Never heard any stories about a Gal Bank ship going down. And even if it had happened, it would have been picked clean years ago.
No, neighbor. Think. If Galbank covered it up, and over time, the location was eventually forgotten, it wouldn't be on anyone's radar. Okay, this changes things. Now that we know what we are looking for, we have to narrow the search. Because they would be rolling in so much cash, there is no way they could keep it quiet. It's like hitting a jackpot. Not to mention, they'd need someone with Shinya skills to keep the crypto tracing on the currency clean. And as far as Galbank goes, I doubt they would bother. Their bean counters would be too busy weighing the loss versus recovery costs. No, the legacy is out there, just waiting for us to find. I can feel it. I'm sure he did not have a choice. People would kill to get a crack at a score this big. I know I have. Let us start with what we know. It was a Galbank ship, which means the company is going to have records of where it went down. Neva, weren't you working on a deal with Rokov? Something about a big-wig charity event on one of Trident's Starliners?
Are you serious? I've been working on that gig for 3 months. That's my score.
Ay, Dios mío. Will you shut up about your score and think for a second? That Starliner has a Galbank VIP suite aboard, which means... Come on, Neva. This isn't hard.
Which means a Gal Bank exec will be aboard. We grab their credentials and get ourselves into the Gal Bank archives in New Atlantis. Holy shit, that might actually work. I'll send a message to Rokov right away.
Pack your bags, Rook. You're going on vacation. And since you've earned it, take this gun with you. Might come in handy when Rokov screws everything up as usual. It's not what you're thinking. It's more of an office than a bank vault. Once you're inside, you'll be able to gain access to one of their computers and find out more about the legacy. Rokov is... well, he's Rokov. A real pain in the ass. He used to run with the fleet until we kicked him out. Lately, he has been using his long-hauling skills to captain a Starliner for Trident. Gives us a contact within the company. He has been trying to get his foot back in the door with us for years. But I'm not ready to let him in just yet. Maybe you can use that to your advantage. Yeah, so that is exactly what you're going to do. If you haven't noticed by now, that is how things work around here. Neva and I are too well known to walk around the Starliner without being recognized. If Trident Security spotted us, it'd be over. I need you to board that ship, make contact with Rokov, and get me those credentials. I see what you are getting at, Rook. And don't worry, I would ask the same thing. Just be sure to get those credentials. Anything else of value you find on Rokov's Starliner is all yours. You know what? I'm gonna leave that entirely up to you. If you think he's come through for us, you can promise him he'll get paid. But if he gets in your way, then you take him out. Don't be stupid. You gotta look at the big picture. We do this right, and we are all getting paid for this job. Oh, before you leave, I wanted you to know that I took what you said about Mathis into consideration, and I've decided to cut him from the fleet.
Honestly, I'm surprised he made it off Suvorov in one piece.
Because you're the one that finished the job. You followed orders, and you put your neck on the block to get that data to the key. As far as Mathis goes, I'm sure you had to drag him through the lock and prevent him from doing something as stupid. Fair enough. That's it then. Next stop for you is Rokov Starliner, the Siren of the Stars. And remember, Rokov does not need to know anything about Grixis' legacy. For now, it's just between us. Now get out of here.
Hey, Rook. Before you head out, I need to have a word with you. Meet me at the last Nova after you wrap things up with Mathis.
If you have, shouldn't you be packing for your trip? Hell of a job you did down there, Rook. Hell of a job. If you have any last questions about the job, ask them now. Shouldn't you be packing for your trip? Hell of a job you did down there, Rook. Hell of a job. Hell of a job you did down there, Rook. Hell of a job. If you have any last questions about the job, ask them now.
We're carrying too many odds and ends.
Tell us what the future holds for the Crimson Fleet.
Changes are coming, Gale. Huge changes. Crimson Fleet will soon be a much bigger player in this little game between the members of the settled systems.
That's quite a bold statement. Would you care to elaborate?
Well, let's just say that I'm on the brink of a score so large, it makes everything else pale in comparison. Beyond that, you'll just have to wait and see.
If you aren't willing to discuss the details, why grant SSNN this interview?
Simple. I refuse to allow the UC to spin or bury the story, making it sound like they're in complete control of the situation. I'm gonna tell you right now, they aren't.
Why does the Crimson Fleet need to make this mysterious move that you're being so evasive about?
I know SysDef instructed you to draw this meeting out as long as possible. So let me sum this up. I intend to make sure that the Crimson Fleet becomes the United Colony's worst nightmare. And nothing, I mean nothing in this universe, will stop me from achieving that goal.
There are those that would disagree with you and claim this interview is grandstanding, or worse, a recruitment tool. After all, SSNN reaches every corner of the settled systems, and your aspirations could inspire the Directionless to turn to the fleet.
You and the sheep that listen to your garbage can believe whatever the hell you want. If you were so worried about what I had to say, you wouldn't have allowed yourself to be brought here.
You see, you'll never crush the fleet. They'd have to catch us first.
Don't even try to rip. I was raised fleet. My mama joined up when I was 12. She was a first-class smuggler. We'd always lived comfortably, but she took the offer to join when a job almost went south. She figured if anything ever happened to her, it'd guarantee I'd still have a home. Hell no. The two things I don't want in this life? A real boss and customers that I can't shoot in the face if they piss me off. Del lets me do what I want to here, as long as he knows I'm loyal to the fleet. I sell what I want, I work when I want, I do what I want. And I wouldn't have it any other way. It's been non-stop. Even as a kid, I was helping distract security in those smuggling days. It's amazing how just having a child aboard, especially one as cute as I was, can throw off the scent. Between my mama and the fleet, I can talk my way out of anything. And use or fix any weapon and ship in the galaxy. Real-life skills, if you know what I mean. I was raised fleet. We'd always lived comfortably. She figured if any... Not quite. I still lost my mama to the Freestar Rangers. She could have surrendered, but she'd rather die than be caged up for the time she'd have to serve. I've come to respect her decision to go down fighting, but I'll never forgive those Rangers for killing her. I was raised fleet. We'd always lived. She figured if... My mama taught me everything I need to know to get by in this world. I may not have fancy degrees, but I know how to survive and live the life I want to live, which is more than I can say for most of the people in the settled systems. I sell a little bit of everything, but only if it's hard to find, and only for a high price. Neuroamps, a few unique resources, maybe a specialized weapon or two. Anything that's rare and in high demand. Hey, I'm always ready to take credits off your hands. Don't miss me too much.
Why are you bothering to carry all that junk?
Virus, if you want to pad that... Be seeing you.
Hey, I want to talk to you. Thanks to you, Delgado's cutting me from the fleet. Well, you know what? You better get your own fleet, because I'm coming after you. Oh, I see. You think you're some kind of big shot, is that it? Gonna show poor Mathis a little mercy now that you're Delgado's best buddy, yeah? Well, guess what? Your generosity is getting me kicked off the key. And that means you better watch your back. I stayed to give you a message that you better start looking over your shoulder. You'll never know when I'll be right behind you, ready to pull the trigger.
Like my colleague said, it was so nice of you to stay and wish us well.
Now get the hell out of me way! Stay the hell away from me. I've got nothing more to say to you. I'm gonna make you regret this. I swear I will. I told you, we're done. Now get the hell out of my face. I'm gonna make you regret this. I swear I will.
As long as you put the fleet first, we won't have any problems.
Well, isn't this cozy? It appears we've stumbled across the embodiment of the phrase, absolute mayhem.
Bugs are soft to get to know.
I need another drink.
Certainly. Let's talk about something else. How did the Crimson Scar become the Crimson Fleet?
After I busted out of the lock, I decided to take things to the next level. I had the key, a few UC ships, and a couple dozen ex-cons at my side. But I needed more, so I sent out the call. Once word got around, it didn't take long for freelance pirates from every corner of the settled systems to show up.
And this is how the Crimson Fleet was born.
Exactly. The key became our base of operations. We spent months reinforcing our position there, making it nearly impossible to approach.
What was the UC's response to the situation?
First of all, UC security gave up and handed the reins over to the big guns, the UC Navy. The Navy in turn sent ships to attack the key. I'd say there have been 3 major attacks over the last few years. And as you can tell by the fact we're having this interview, all the attacks were embarrassing failures.
Do you feel these embarrassing failures led them to form UC systems?
Absolutely. They've clearly given up and decided to shove the responsibility onto a separate division. That way, in the public eye, the UC Navy can move forward, proud and strong, while UC SysDef continually takes all the blame. It's all about PR spin for them, Gale. That's how the UC operates. Kinda disgusting, don't you think?
Sounds a bit like you're trying to deflect attention off the atrocities the Crimson Fleet commits on a daily basis.
Atrocities, huh? How about fighting the Freestar Collective over a bunch of rocks hanging in space? How about thousands of people dying while a bunch of pencil-pushing bastards sit in a cushy office and draw lines on a star map? Maybe the United Colonies should stop the bullshit and take a hard look in the mirror to see who the monsters really are.
We haven't decided.
Either this was sisters or versatile.
Why is it every time we go out and do a job, it's you who ends up with all our credits?
My friend's got a point, Bog. Every pirate in this joint comes to the Nova after a drink.
Seems to me, instead of trawling deep space for stick change, we got a much bigger target right here at home.
A lot of jingle in those pockets, Bog. Could use a good shake.
Well, it's an interesting theory, but here's my take. First off, the creds you spend here go to the fleet, not to me, not to you. Second, if I really bumped lay a finger on those creds, I am going to use express permission to blow your heads off and serve the goods as sushi. You drink, or get the hell out.
There you are. All right, look. I've been lining up a score with that asshole Rokoff on the Siren of the Stars for months. I'm not about to let a payday slip through my fingers. So guess what? You're gonna finish the job for me. My score involves a one-time event being held aboard the Siren of the Stars. If anyone finds out the Crimson Fleet's aboard that Starliner, the event will be canceled and I can kiss my payday goodbye. There's no way I'm gonna miss this window of opportunity. Oh, don't worry. You can still do your little errand for Delgado. And you get to do mine as well. Aren't you lucky? Rokoff's been tipping me off about some kind of bullshit charity event that the Siren of the Stars is hosting. At the event, they're gonna give away something called the Earth Savior Award, which is worth tens of thousands of credits. So it's simple. While you're on the Siren, swiping those Gal Bank credentials, I want you to grab that award and bring it to me. No, Dombrowski's only aboard to use the Gal Bank VIP suite, so he can catch a free ride at the company's expense. I'm sure he'll be there partying with the other spoiled brats. I can guarantee he doesn't give a crap about what's going on at the event. From the pictures I've seen, the award is set with 12 blue diamonds and covered in gold filigree. If I get Jazz to take it apart, I can turn it into a hell of a lot of cash. And best of all, the components become untraceable. Then why the hell are you here? We take unnecessary risks every day. That's what being a pirate is all about. Look, you can make all the jokes and excuses you want. But if you don't come back with the ES award, I'm gonna deduct it from your pay. Either way, I get my money. How much you walk away with is in your own hands. Got it?
Unless you plan to walk away empty-handed, she really isn't giving us a choice.
Yeah, ES, Earth, Savior. Get it? Come on. Keep up with me here. I got about 17 other things to do and you're holding me up. All Rokoff does is feed me information. If I ask him to lift a finger, he gives me enough sob stories to fill a freighter's cargo bay. If you want my advice, leave him completely out of the loop. Otherwise, it's gonna cost both of us some credits. You do whatever you want. I'm trying to offer you extra money, and you're throwing it in my face? I'm gonna remember that. All right, Rook, we're done here. Now, get your ass to the Siren, and bring me my goods. Because that's exactly what you are. A rookie, a newbie, fresh meat. Beneath all of that inexperience, I'm sure you have an actual name. But honestly, no one gives a damn. So get used to hearing that word. Until you earn your stripes, you're a rook to everyone in the fleet. Stay sharp, Rook.
I think you need to get rid of some of that gear.
I was wondering when you'd wander my way. The name's Fergus. Fergus Wickham. But you could call me Bog. Welcome to the last Nova, where the drinks are never free. Guilty? You name it, I got it. Although, I can't speak to quality. We don't believe in expiration dates here as long as it gets the job done. Got it back in my experimental days. Before we fixed up Nova, she was a real boggy mess. Practically an indoor swamp. I figured some of what's growing around here could make some decent booze. Some might say I only got the booze part right. As long as you're buying, stay as long as you like. The last Nova never sleeps, so no last call here. Since it's your first time with us, I'm willing to make an exception to the rule and offer you my speciality. On the house. 1 free bottle of Bog's Grog. The good ones always are, mate. And if you like it, you're in luck. Cheapest drink you can find. And guaranteed to drown those sorrows. Now that's a trade secret, mate. And a homegrown one at that. But nothing to worry about. I've been serving it up going on 20 years now. Only things that kill my customers are bullets and stupidity. Nova wasn't always the lovely sight you see before you. She used to be a hydro farm and put up quite a fight when we decided to give her a makeover. Overgrown water everywhere. I almost gave up. But what's a proper home without a pub, eh? See for yourself. See you next time.
Should you be heading to the... I thought, my... Good luck.
Hey, Cap. You hiring? I'm a smuggler. Making enemies comes with a job. This time, I got in over my head and made one who's more dangerous than me. I suppose I can't rightly blame you for that. It's the Varun Zealots. Been on my tail a while. They're easy enough to avoid in places like this, but I'm history if they see my ship cruising around the space lanes again. Oh, I'm a real scrapper. Good in a fist fight or in the gunner seat. Doesn't matter to me so long as there's a strong drink waiting when the fight's over. I've also got pretty sticky fingers, if that suits you. They're a group of cultists who operate on the edges of known space. Real nutjobs. They shoot at just about anyone who comes near them. Big on grudges too. That's how I ended up on their radar. No hard feelings. They're nasty pieces of work. Come chat again if you change your mind. I'll be here. Hopefully. Need to have a leader take a look at this kinetic. Recoil's off.
Too many missions. Not enough time.
Carrying enough clutter there, or should we find some more?
My price. I hope you came with credit. We can talk about what. Don't be a stranger.
You might find a deal or two here, if you can overlook the spatters of blood. covering all
So,
the
looks like
stolen
we
goods.
got ourselves
Of
a
course.
new rook. Once again, I'm Jazz, resident engineer here. Like Neva said, you need ship parts, repairs? I'll hook you up. As long as your credits are good. Neva's mine, so don't be getting any ideas. She may be a little rough around the edges, but she's just looking out for her own. There's no one better to have your back. Neva's the only one who calls me that, amongst other things. To you and everyone else, it's just plain old Jazz. Oh, it did when I first got here. Most of these folks aren't too keen on maintenance. Today, the key's about as safe as any other UC station, just with a hell of a lot more personality. I can guarantee your ship will be in good hands, so if you're looking for an upgrade, let me know. We got the best selection in the settled systems. Illegal, unregistered, recalled. We sell it all. No questions asked. No. You buy from me, you're worry-free. I can't have my customers getting caught now, can I? That's bad for business. Ah, straight shooter, huh? You'll come around. Get caught smuggling once or twice, and I can guarantee I've got something you need. Just let me know when you want to talk business. Truth is, the fleet rescued me. Of course, I wouldn't have needed rescuing if they hadn't blown up the ship I was working on. Delgado plucked me out of space and brought me to the Key. I took one look at the place and was compelled to work. Soon after, he offered me a permanent spot with the fleet. Serious enough that you don't have a chance in hell? Neva's got a fire in her. The kind you only see in an engine pushed to its limit. She doesn't half-ass a damn thing, and I love her for it. If you've got the credits, I'd love to take your... I bet you would.
You might think it's funny.
Here to upgrade that.
Loyalty's big.
All business and... I've got plenty. If you want to stay under the radar, I don't mind helping. Oh.
If you need credits, hit up
Ship
the
services?
mission boards at the
You
core.
need- No, but... Shop's always open as long...
I like my weapons like I like my car. hearing some stuff about the Mantis being back. If I ever find that bastard, the things I do to them.
It's good to be back on board.
Agent. You're cleared to dock. Vessel ID acknowledged. Port 1 cleared for docking. Welcome home to the Vigilance.
Hello. I've had operations on the key are clown.
Yo, back. So how did it go? Frankly, it's because we've never gotten this far before. The last agent I sent to infiltrate the Crimson Fleet ended up in a morgue on New Atlantis. Even with our best intelligence equipment, we can monitor very little from the Vigilance. We can pick up local communications chatter and use long-range scans to see where you travel. But when you're on the ground, you're on your own. If we get too close, we not only expose ourselves to an attack, but we might blow your cover. And that could get everyone killed. Excuse me? That doesn't sound like someone who's concerned about serving the United Colonies.
I thought UC Vanguard graduates were supposed to be tough.
I understand that you are under a lot of pressure, but I'm afraid there is no turning back. That being said, I believe you should be proud of what you've accomplished. I was certain we'd fool Delgado, but never. She's a sharp one. Overcoming her scrutiny is no small matter. Did you discover anything worth reporting yet? If the intelligence I've read is accurate, Delgado is a charismatic leader, but a bit short on judgment. That's why you want to stay on his good side, and stay away from Neva. She's shrewd, and she sniffed out everything we've thrown her way. If the intelligence I've read is... That's why you want to stay on his good side, and stay away from Neva. She's shrewd, and she sniffed out everything we've thrown her way. I understand your concern, but you can rest assured that every member of this crew has been thoroughly vetted by both myself and Lieutenant Toft. Any information that you turn over will not be leaving this ship until it's fully encrypted and encoded. I give you my word. Legacy. Why does that sound familiar? Wait a moment. Are you telling me Delgado may have actually located Crix's legacy?
Excuse me, Commander. Did you say Crix's legacy? Please tell me you aren't seriously going to give that any credence. Everyone knows that's just I don't know, a myth.
I'm holding tangible confirmation of the word legacy attached to Crix's name. That's too much of a coincidence to attribute to myth.
I suppose it's possible, sir. Intelligence picked up a bit of chatter on that subject recently. We assumed it was some sort of tall tale or a story to attract recruits to their cause. All right, take it easy. We prefer to check our own sources, if you don't mind. Let me see what we have here. Nope. There are no records of a Gal Bank transport named the Legacy in the database. I think Delgado's trying to manipulate you.
What do you think, sir?
I think there's no record because Galbank is hiding something. Delgado's no fool. If he risked his own neck to get that information, then he must be on to something. We have to take this seriously. What's your next move? That one's simple. We monitored your ships heading down to the surface of Suvorov. In fact, when he returned to the key and you didn't immediately follow, well, we almost thought our operation was terminated. Can you imagine the amount of embarrassment Galbank would have to endure if they listed a lost transport in the ship registry? Doesn't matter if that ship went down 500 or 500 years ago. If news gets out that a bank has misplaced money, it would tank their value. Clever, Delgado. Very clever. If I were in your place, I'd be trying to do the exact same thing. We can't let Delgado get his hands on what could potentially turn out to be the largest haul of credits the Crimson Fleet's ever seen.
Maybe I should head out to New Atlantis, sir. I could press the Galbank execs for information. Get ahead of everything.
No. Let's allow this to run its course. We have our agent here feeding us information. I think that's good enough for now. There's more to this than just finding the location of the transport. Jasper Cricks was clever. For some reason, he never got there. Because the Crimson Fleet would be a totally different adversary, and Cricks wouldn't have disappeared years ago. Even if they hid the money with that damn human computer Shinya Voss, our forensic accounting people would have found that data. No. The Crimson Fleet are in dire shape right now. They haven't seen that much currency, well, ever. And let Neva Mora take his place, or Shinya Voss, or any one of a number of pirates already gunning for his position. No. The solution is to stick to the undercover operation and determine how much of this is truly a credible threat. It's imperative that you do. If the Crimson Fleet gets its hands on a transport full of currency, it would be disastrous for the settled systems. I need you to do whatever you can to bring us more information. And for God's sake, don't kill anyone on that Starliner. You're both dismissed.
Word is the fleet has you chasing ghosts on Suvorov. There's one thing spookier than a pirate.
Do you have anything to report? Dismissed.
The commander appreciates the sacrifice you've made, going undercover. They're pirates in every sense of the word, but they've managed to get more organized under their current leadership. That makes them especially dangerous, but hopefully it makes them a little more predictable too. We'll provide you with information, but any inventory or ship services, it's best you get from the fleet. It'll help you maintain your cover and also give you an idea of how the fleet's operation works. Good. The more you find, the stronger our case. I'll be damned. So some of the UC guards at the lock helped touch off the riots. Everyone thought he was some kind of legendary criminal mastermind, but even the great Jasper Cricks needed a helping hand to get out of prison. That it? It's amazing that all this romantic nonsense about Cricks's legacy really just amounts to a rumor Jasper Cricks picked up in jail. It just goes to show you how a tiny rumor can snowball into a full-blown fairy tale. Any other fragments? Okay, fine. I know there's more out there, so keep on it. You're not gonna let this go, are you? Why do you care so much about my past? Because the things you're asking are private, and we're supposed to be maintaining a professional rapport, not making friends. Look, I like to keep my attachments at a minimum, okay? In my line of work, if you make friends, you eventually end up losing them, either through reassignment or, well, for other reasons. Okay. But don't say I didn't warn you. You might not like what I have to say. Would it shock you to learn that I spent some time in prison? I suppose that makes me a hypocrite. Oh, come on. I haven't exactly been cordial about my feelings towards the Crimson Fleet's illegal activities. Good. I like keeping you on your toes. Maybe I should explain. I grew up in the Well in New Atlantis. Parents made barely enough money to keep the lights on in our apartment. After I dropped out of school, they begged for me to look for work. But I realized it was a lot easier to simply take whatever I wanted instead. A year after that, I'm a career criminal with UC security breathing down my neck, and my parents kicking me out of the house. Hell no. I made enough money to buy my own apartment. Filled it with some decent stuff, too. I'd even send pictures of the place to my folks to rub it in. I was a real asshole. Well, I wasn't a nice person. Would make a hell of a motion picture. I was having the time of my life, earning way more than I needed to simply get by and loving every minute of it. Back then, if you would have told me one day I'd be wearing this uniform, I'd have said you were out of your mind. Yeah. This isn't exactly working out as a morale-building exercise, is it? Let's just say the years after my time in the Well were filled with highs and lows. Look, the point is that I felt you deserved to know a bit about my past. To know where my anger towards the fleet comes from. Yeah. I think I've told you more than enough. Besides, my job here is to keep an eye on you, not the other way around. Longer than you can possibly imagine. Well, I think you've had enough for now. You get the point. Let's get back to it before Keyboy writes us a citation for loitering. I'll be here if you have any more questions.
The fleet call us sharks.
Up the engines.
About time you showed up. All right, I want to know what's going on. I've been trying to get Delgado's attention for, I don't know, 3 years now. And what do I get? Nothing but radio silence. Then out of nowhere, just when Neva and I are closing in on a huge score of our own, Delgado orders me to help you out. Oh, sure. First a tour, followed by a formal dinner at the captain's table. Let's get one thing straight. You're here for business, not for a vacation, so let's start by talking about Delgado's sudden olive branch. Because the only way to achieve a win is by agreeing to play the game in the first place. Worst case scenario, I don't make the fleet, but I end up a couple thousand credits richer. That's almost a win-win, don't you think? Well, I'll be damned. Someone from the fleet finally agrees with me about something. It's a goddamn miracle. So Neva's message said you were here for Dombrowski. Was that all she sent you here to do? Or was there something else you were sent here to steal? Don't play games with me. We both know pinging a message back and forth to the key is going to take longer than we have to do this job. We're supposed to be working together on every part of this. So, you gonna tell me what else you're here for or not? Fine. Have it your way. Apparently, you have everything under control. So why are you targeting a Gaul Bank exec anyway? Not exactly your average Crimson Fleet prey. Why the interest? Merchant vessels, transport, supply convoys, mining settlements, you get the picture. But taking on a megacorp, that's a really big deal. Something the Crimson Fleet stayed away from in the past. Sounds to me like Delgado's either getting desperate, or this is leading to an even bigger score down the road. Playing it safe for now. Okay. I can respect that. But let's make one thing clear. If I'm gonna stick my neck out by helping you get near Dombrowski, I want something in return.
Like him or not, he's the Siren's captain, so his assistance is going to be invaluable. Maybe we should hear what he has to say.
You're insulting my intelligence. Delgado wouldn't send you all the way out here without specifically telling you what you're allowed to offer. I'll tell you what, though. I'm gonna make this extremely inexpensive for you. In fact, you don't have to offer me a single credit. I don't want money. I want back into the Crimson Fleet. It's as simple as that. Of course I do. But who wants to settle for a one-time payout? I prefer to play the long game. You see, getting my ass back into the fleet means I regain access to Shinya Voss. And that's as good as an endless stream of credits. You'd better, or you're gonna have to find another Gal Bank executive. As long as Dombrowski's on the ship, he's all mine. That's a disturbing way to put it. But I suppose that's the best offer I'm gonna get, so I'll take it. Dombrowski's a full-timer aboard the Siren of the Stars. Probably spends more time cruising the space lanes than actually working. Fortunately, the Siren is hosting the Terran Preservation Society charity gala. Larry won't be able to resist showing off his VIP clout. To get what you need, you're gonna have to attend the gala, talk to his fellow philanthropists, and dig up some dirt.
Oh god. I'd rather hunt down Varun's zealots than mingle with those egotistical frauds.
The event's a complete sham. Bunch of rich snobs getting together and throwing a party for themselves. These people couldn't give a damn about Terran preservation or any other charity for that matter. Someone with enough disposable income to afford a permanent six-figure cabin aboard one of Trident's finest space liners. Consider it similar to owning a luxury mobile vacation home. Plaything for the wealthy, you get the gist. You knew at this or something. Come on, think. If you don't hold anything over the guy's head, he's not going to budge. He's stubborn, he's rich, and he's a huge pain in the ass. This card will allow you to access the Starfield ballroom. If you need my help, I'll be relaxing in one of the upper-level lounges. Head inside and mingle with the crowd. No one likes Dombrowski, so they'll be more than happy to share his dirty secrets. He's a VIP executive, which means he either worked really hard using blood, sweat, and tears to make the arduous climb to the top, or he backstabbed, lied, cheated, and betrayed his way up the corporate ladder. From what I've heard, it's the second option. Now you're speaking my language. Oh, there's one last thing. Trident equips all of their starliners with the latest acoustic threat detection. Meaning that you lose patience and kill anyone aboard the ship, security will be alerted and all hell will break loose. Anyway, I suppose that's enough to get you started. Good luck. You seriously need to ask. Okay, I'll give you 2 reasons. First, Gold Bank protects their own. Kill Dombrowski, and they send Ecliptic after every Crimson Fleet ship they can find. Not something Delgado wants, I suspect. And second, you offer Gal Bank employee in every single Gal Bank facility in the settled systems will triple their security. I'm gonna guess that won't help with whatever your plans are regarding Gal Bank, now will it? They claim their goal is to celebrate the soul of the Earth, the culture, the people, and the ideals of the past. In their minds, Earth is now dead, which is why they feel that preservation of its remaining aspects is so important. In reality, this is what happens when folks with far too much time and far too much money get together to make themselves feel like they're contributing to society. Oh, I know plenty. Been tracking that beauty for months. Neva and I were working out something. Hey, wait a minute. Don't tell me she's sending you after the award alone. Yeah? And I suppose it's just a coincidence you happen to be asking me about the very thing Neva and I agreed to steal together. I can't believe she's trying to cut me out of this deal. Without me, the award never would have ended up here in the first place. I spent months manipulating the Terran Preservation Society into hosting their gala affair aboard the Siren of the Stars. I had to arrange the event to make sure that the award was aboard the ship. Neva said she'd do the rest. When I got a message about Dombrowski, I assumed she'd be tagging along to steal the award. But looks like she sent you in her place. That would imply that Neva has a good side to begin with. Fine, I'll help. But you're doing all the legwork, and I'm still taking my cut of the payout. So tell me, what's the status of your plan? I once saw Neva strip down a UC security ship and sell the parts back to the UC through a shell company. If that doesn't put your concerns to rest, I don't know what will. Now tell me, what about the status of your plan? How can I help? Okay, then let me point you to the person in charge of the award. Her name's Sheila Holbrook, and you can probably find her in the Starfield ballroom. I'd press her to reveal where the award's hidden, and we can go from there. And if you're thinking of pulling the trigger on poor Miss Holbrook, remember that any gunfire is gonna set off the ship's alarms. As long as you remember that I'm getting paid my cut, I'll help. What's the status? Oh, and while you're at the gala, avoid the cafe days. They're frozen, not fresh.
hear the engines, can you? You're not going to find better tuned engines anywhere else in the settled systems. Every day that I wake up in my bunk, I count my blessings to have been posted to a ship like the Siren of the Stars. This is one of Trident's top-of-the-line vessels. Hell of a ship, isn't it? There's nothing quite like the view from the Starview ballroom. It's breathtaking. Trident must have spent a fortune equipping this ship with triple redundancy in almost every internal system. You're a guest of Captain Rokov, right? Welcome aboard. Captain Rokov said you're allowed in any of the crew-specific areas. Just don't touch anything, please. These newer vessels more or less run autonomously, which doesn't leave much for the crew to do around here. Captain Rokov is one of the most easygoing COs I've ever worked under. In fact, he doesn't act much like a captain at all. Between you and me, the best part of my job is getting a crack at all of the leftovers from the dining area buffets. Captain Rokov said you're allowed in any of the crew-specific areas. Every day that I wake up in my bunk, I count my blessings to have been posted.
Is it really necessary for you to drag around all that gear?
Trident must have spent a fortune equipping this ship with triple redundancy in almost every internal system.
These newer vessels, more or less run
Captain Rokov is one of the most easygoing COs.
Between you and me, the best part of my job is getting a crack at all the leftovers from the dining area.
You're a guest of Captain Rokov, right?
This is one of Trident's top-of-the-line vessels anywhere else in the settled systems.
There's nothing quite like the view from the Starview ballroom. It's breathtaking.
Captain Rokov said you're allowed in any of the crew-specific areas. Just don't touch anything.
This is one of Trident's top-of-the-line vessels. Hell of a ship, isn't it?
These newer vessels more or less run autonomously, which doesn't leave much for the crew to do around here.
You're a guest of Captain Rukov, right? Welcome aboard.
Shh. Listen. Can't hear the engines, can you? You're not going to find better tuned engines anywhere else in the settled systems.
All that junk you're hauling is seriously slowing you down.
Captain Lokov is one of the most easygoing CEOs I've ever worked under. In fact, he doesn't act much like
Between
a
you
captain
and me,
at all.
the best part of my job is getting a crack at all of the leftovers from the dining area buffets. Trident must have spent a fortune equipping this ship with triple redundancy in almost every internal system.
Every day that I wake up in my bunk, I count my blessings to have been hosted. There's nothing quite like the view of Starfield. It's breathtaking.
This is one of Trident's...
If you want to dine at Captain Rokov's table during dinner service, it's only an additional 5,000 credits.
Please remain in designated passenger areas at all times. Have a safe journey. I've done this particular cruise run several times, and I can assure you that the route is quite safe. Don't forget to keep your Starview pass handy at all times, or you won't have access to the ballroom. I'm sorry, but unless you're reporting a security situation, I need to get back to my duties. If you have any specific requests, please speak to one of the crew's attendants. The ship's purser can assist you with any matters regarding the security of your items. Any complaints about your cruise should be directed to one of the staff. In the event of a lockdown, remember to return to your cabin in a quiet and orderly fashion. Any complaints about your cruise should be directed to one of the staff.
For the safety of everyone aboard, please be certain you don't interfere with any of the crew or security members of our vessel.
In the event of a lockdown, remember to return to your cabin.
If you wish to have a drink at any of our lounges, be sure to present your cabin pass to have the cost deducted from your account.
Here for business or pleasure?
If you have any specific requests, please speak to one of the crew's attendants.
Is this important? I don't have a lot of time for idle nonsense. Yes, I'm extremely busy preparing for the award ceremony, so this better be important. Not at all. I was assured that this particular ship was outfitted with the absolute latest in cutting-edge security. I am completely confident that Trident Luxury Lines will keep all of us safe. Probably in a few days. I don't want the award transfer to actually occur until we're safely in orbit at our destination. Of course, if I keep getting interrupted, the ceremony might never take place at all. Yes, I am. Actually, I've been entrusted with the transfer of the award for the last 7 of its 9 years. Why do you ask? During my tenure? Certainly not. There was an unfortunate incident where my predecessor attempted to sell the award to the highest bidder, but that was quickly resolved. Needless to say, they'll be spending the rest of their life in a UC prison. Well, the Earth Savior Award is one of a kind. The Blue Diamonds alone are irreplaceable. Since we can't produce a new award every year, it's instead passed from one recipient to the next. I supervise the transfer and make certain that there's ample security during transport and at the destination. Yes, it's quite marvelous, isn't it? Absolutely priceless. Alas, I'm afraid you'll just have to wait for the ceremony to see it in all its glory. It's far too valuable to be left anywhere else except the master safe located at the purser's office. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have much more important things on my agenda than to speak to the likes of you. I have about 1,000 things to deal with, and you're not one of them. Goodbye. Could you pester someone else, please? I have too much on my plate to waste time talking to you. I'm sorry, I'm very busy right now. Could you please go away? I have about 1,000 things to deal with, and you're not one of them. Goodbye.
If you have any little ones aboard, story time with Serena will be held in the ship's library this evening.
So, what brings you aboard?
Quite a lovely start.
Have you tried the canapes?
Nothing but the best
Horrid.
for the society, eh?
Positively horrid. You don't necessarily have to be wealthy to contribute, though the minimum donation level is 5,000 credits. When you join, they send you a small chunk of rock from the Earth itself. I keep mine on my desk. Is this about that feature SSNN ran a few years ago? I can assure you, this is a legitimate charity organization. The Society was founded about 8 years ago by Carl S.A. Worthington, a prominent businessman from New Atlantis. Donations to the Society can be debited from my bank account on a monthly basis. I barely have to lift a finger to help. Not much, other than the fact that they host these wonderfully entertaining gala events every month. It's a shame that the Earth ended in such a sorry state, but I'm glad the Society has the nerve to do something about it. Oh, the Society is such a worthy cause. What could be more important than the preservation of the Earth's spirit? I'm a silver member of the Society. But only 100,000 more credits and I hit the gold tier. It's critical that the Society keeps the memories of Earth alive in our hearts. I'm doing my part by attending this spectacular event. It's a shame that the Earth ended in such a sorry state, but I'm glad the Society has the nerve to do something about it. The Society is such a worthy cause. What could be more important than the preservation of the Earth's spirit? You don't necessarily have to be wealthy to contribute, though the minimum donation level is 5,000 credits. The Society is... You don't necessarily... All I know is that the award is given to whomever contributed the most to the preservation of Earth as a historic landmark. I already told you what I know. What? You think I'm lying? This topic is beginning to bore me. Can we talk about something different? Do we really need to go over this again? I honestly don't really know anything else about the award. This topic is beginning to bore. His behavior toward women is abominable. That man really ought to be ashamed of himself. Haven't we already? No? And why the heck are you so interested in him anyway? Could we talk about... I've already told you. Besides what I already... Could we talk about... Don't forget to donate to the cause.
The Society chair. Is this about that feature? Benjamin Bayou of Neon won the award the first time it was presented, but he dropped out of the Society a couple years back. I honestly don't really know. This topic is... Larry likes to drop overly complex words into conversations. I'm sure he knows that it annoys people, but he does it anyway. Haven't we already talked about this? Could we talk about... No. No. Nice to have met you.
That view is an open bar would have been not much, other than the fact it's for the Society's high rollers. If you don't have more than 8 figures in your account, I wouldn't even bother going after the award. I heard he uses Galbank's VIP suite on the Siren of the Stars almost monthly. Does the man ever do any real work? No. And why the heck are you so... No. I've already told you. That's all then? Okay.
I've done this particular cruise
I certainly
run
hope
several
that
times,
Dombrowski is married to some poor woman.
quite safe.
Enjoy the rest of the event.
Hello. Are you a member? Let's put it this way. He screwed over so many people, if he suddenly disappeared from the universe, I don't think anyone would miss him. Sheila Holbrook is chair of the award committee this year. The way she dotes over that glorified trophy, you'd think it was her own child. Sheila Holbrook. Not much, other than... No. And what? Could we talk about something? Haven't we already talked? No. Well, that was boring.
The ship's purser
Pleased to
can
make
assist
your
you with
request.
any matters
He's been
regarding
spending a lot
security
of time with
wellness.
Claudia Swist. Quality time, if you catch my meaning. I'm certain his wife doesn't know a thing about it. He's been spending a lot of... Sheila Holbrook. When you join, they send you a small... Enjoy the rest of the event.
Here for business or pleasure? Have you tried the canapé? He's been spending a lot of... Sheila Holbrook. You don't necessarily... Don't forget to donate to the...
There's a huge difference between being prepared and carrying too much.
Are you a
Mein
member?
Been a long... Yeah,
Been a
can we
long
do this
time
later?
since time to
I'm
go?
busy. Sorry, yeah, can we do this later?
Please remember to obey all.
If you have any needs, please enter a request into
With all the worthy causes in the settled systems, oh, you'd think people wouldn't waste money on these pretentious luxuries.
We have a range of excursions available at all of our destinations. All the details are in your cabin. On behalf of myself and the entire team at Trident Luxury Lines, we wish to thank you for choosing to travel with us. At the moment, Aurora isn't permitted on Trident Starliners, though we're working on having that changed. A Starview pass is required to enter the main ballroom. If you have any little ones aboard, story time with Serena will be held in the ship's library this evening. A Starview pass is required to enter the main ballroom.
Sorry, do I know you? Okay, that's a hell of a way to open a conversation. Why don't you cut the crap before I tell my partner that you're harassing me? Believe me, you don't want to piss him off. Who? Look, can you just cut to the chase already? What's this about? I can't believe this is happening. I told Larry to keep his big mouth shut, but did he listen? No. He had to impress his friends and treat me like a trophy. Look, I've been in this business for a long time, and I know how this game works, so let's skip all the banter and get it over with. What's it gonna take to make us both happy? You're not very bright, are you? I'm a grade C3 exec at Galbang. That means my credentials get me into two places, the front door and the ladies' room. If that's all you really want, you're certainly welcome to them. Are you kidding me? You need to think about it? For God's sakes, next time, maybe you should be a bit more prepared when you threaten someone. Thanks for leaving me in a panic like that. Have you decided what it's going to cost for you to keep things quiet? Your ex-corp? Then there's no fooling you, is there? I don't have the cash to buy your silence, but I can give you information that might help you bury Dombrowski. You know, this whole thing really pisses me off. Larry and I had the perfect scheme worth thousands of credits all worked out, and then he goes and flushes the whole thing down the toilet.
If you're angry at anybody, it should be yourself for getting mixed up in this ridiculous scheme in the first place.
Judge me all you want, lady, At this point, if I'm going down, then all I'm focused on is dragging Larry down with me. I didn't know who the hell you were. For all I knew, you were working for Dombrowski. It's called playing it cool. You should try it sometime. I'm not gonna tell you. Let's just say that I'd be sent to prison for a long time if Galbank figured it out. Oh, angry isn't even the right word. The plan was solid. Larry got together with myself and this other guy, Gabriel Vera. He's some bigwig over at UC Security. I doctored the transactions, Larry wiped them off the system, and Vera kept the legal pressure off of us. We were scamming Galbank for months. It was going well until I discovered Larry was cheating everyone by changing each transaction in his favor before deleting them. Oh, I know he was using me. At the same time, he was saying how much he loved me. He was stringing me along and stabbing me in the back. I was going to confront him back on Jemison, but then he invited me on this little trip through the stars. All expenses paid, first-class accommodations, the works. I figured, why not wait until I've milked him for every credit he's spending before I drop the hammer? You won't do that. You're here because you've got some kind of side hustle in the works. If you wanted to blow the whistle, you would have boarded this ship with the authorities. I wish I had some. Maybe you should try talking to Gabriel Vera. He should be around here somewhere. If he doesn't want to cooperate, just mention my name. That should grab his attention. Good luck. You're gonna need it. What, are you writing a damn novel? Fine. Vera works for UC Security, so he kept a lookout on their commnet for any Galbank chatter. I guess you could call him our early warning system. And Dombrowski made sure that all of the crypto manipulation I was working on didn't turn up in Galbank's automatic audits. You need top clearance for that kind of access, so we had to cut him in, whether we liked it or not. What do you think is going on? I'm using that gullible idiot to get what I want. If I have to squash him on my way to the top, then so be it. Let's get one thing straight. Larry Dombrowski's no saint. He deserves everything that's coming to him.
That was a bit insensitive, but my colleague's right. If you're manipulating him, doesn't that make you just as guilty?
Where the hell do you get off judging me? You don't know that asshole like I do, okay? Dombrowski is a piece of human garbage. He'd stab you in the back for table scraps, then stab you again to steal dessert. The plan's always been to milk the guy for everything he's worth, and then leave him in the dust. Not bad for a lowly Galbank worker drone, right? I wrote a computer algorithm that basically creates a randomized number of false ghost credits that mimic the crypto key of actual credits. Then the algorithm simply passes the ghost credits to whatever legit transfers that the bank transacts. The genuine credits enter a dummy account. The best part is that I also alter the crypto keys as the real cash flows into our accounts. By the time it lands in our pockets, the creds are clean. So, on paper, it appears that all of the bank's transactions are covered, when it's really just our ghosted dummy creds. Genius, right? I hope you hurt Dombrowski. Nail his ass right to the wall. You've already ruined her. I hope you hurt Dombrowski. Nail his ass right to the wall.
On behalf of Trident Luxury Lines, I'd like to welcome you aboard.
Oh, for God's sake. Drop some of that
Welcome to
rubbish
the purser's
already.
office. I'm Chief Purser Murata. How can I be of assistance today? An excellent question. My responsibilities include all of the Siren's financial, customs, and commercial goods transfers. Honestly, I really enjoy the work. I get to meet people at every port of call instead of being constantly stuck below decks. Oh, absolutely! The safe is magnetically sealed and shielded with multiple layers of fully damage-resistant, vacuum-proof plating. In the unlikely event our vessel is boarded and the threat detection alarm is triggered, the safe will be permanently sealed until it reaches port. In the even more unlikely event this ship is destroyed, we can assure you that your loved ones will be able to recover your goods from the wreckage. So, as you can imagine, your property will be completely secure until you decide to retrieve them from our safe. Well, if you change your mind, I'll be here. Have a wonderful trip. An excellent question. My responsibility. Honestly. Oh, absolutely. The safe is in the unlikely event. In the even. So. I'm sorry. It's against Trident policy to discuss our personal feelings towards a fellow crewmate. You do? All right, but you didn't hear this from me. Do you understand? I don't want to lose my job. I like Captain Rokov, but I think he's mixed up with some very dangerous people. I was bringing some paperwork to his quarters one day, and I found a slate with a message he received from someone named Delgado. That would normally be fine, but the message mentions the Crimson Fleet, as in pirates. Can you believe it? If you want to grab it, the slate should still be in his quarters. Somewhere. All right, but I like Captain. I was bringing some. That would normally be fine. If you want to grab it, the slate should still be in. Please let me know if there's anything I can do to make your stay more comfortable.
If you wish to have a drink at any of our lounges, be sure to present your cabin pass to have the cost deducted from your account.
At the moment, Aurora isn't permitted on Trident Starlight.
Can you believe the size of this cabin? It's large enough to accommodate a family of 12. God, what a ridiculous waste of space.
For the safety of every one of them. Lord, please be certain you don't interfere with any of the crew or security members of our vessel.
Had a good... See? Rising.
If you have any needs, please enter a request into the computer located at the entryway to your
On behalf
cabin.
of myself and the entire team at Trident Luxury Lines, we wish to thank you for choosing to travel with us.
Remain in designated passenger areas at all times.
I'm sorry, I'm
Have a
very
safe
busy
journey.
right now. Would you please go away?
So, what
Hello.
brings you aboard?
You here for the charity event? Oh, absolutely. I'm a firm believer that attending these types of events tends to absolve one of their sins and cleanse their soul. But something tells me you're not really here to discuss the event. What did you really want to talk about? Dombrowski, he's the exec holding court over in the VIP area of the ballroom. Yeah, sorry, I work for UC Security, not Galbank. I don't really know him personally. To be honest, I'm here to keep an eye on the charity event. It might not be as glamorous an assignment as a colony rescue or taking down some criminals, but anything that keeps the peace is important to me. What is this all about, anyway? You mean specifically? Oh, I work for the Corporate Fraud Division. We monitor all of the major megacorp financials and transactions to ensure that nothing improper occurs. You're asking a lot of strange questions. What exactly do you want? Claudia sent you, did she? Look, friend, I don't know if you're just a little drunk, maybe a touch crazy, or both. Whatever you think you know about me, you're dead wrong. So back off.
You're a liar and an absolute disgrace to the United Colonies.
Don't test me. You have no idea how high up the chain I am with UC Security. Not only can I make you disappear, I can also make sure the settled systems forget you existed in the first place. Yeah, but before you walk away, let me give you a free piece of advice. Anything you try to report will boil down to your word against mine. And since I work for UC Security, who do you think people will believe?
Sidonia is an industrial town.
Get the hell away from me before I have you arrested.
Concise.
I told you to stay out of my way. I meant it.
Quite a
You've had your
lovely
time to
Starliner.
talk.
Nothing but the
Now
best
piss
for
off.
the society, eh?
Get the hell away from me before I have you arrested.
I certainly hope they decide to hold all future society events aboard a Starliner.
That view is absolutely spectacular, isn't it?
All that junk you're hauling is seriously slowing you down.
I'm sorry. I don't believe we've met. Do I know you? No, I don't believe we'll be talking about anything of the sort. I'm certain we've never been acquainted before, so I'll do you the courtesy of forewarning you about the impertinence that's to follow. When you approach me, I'd highly advise you to choose your words carefully. Otherwise, it's likely they will be your last. I think we're done here. Good day. We're speaking. No, I'm not certain. Perhaps you're unaware of the extent of my influence, or perhaps you're irrevocably stupid. I'll assume it's the latter and overlook it for now. Here on out, I prefer you keep your distance. Get the hell out of my sight. We've spoken enough. Good day. Repeated pestering is not going to win you any favors with me. Go away. I have nothing else to say to you. Go. I have nothing else to say to you.
Don't forget to keep your Starfield pad.
An open bar would have been
have a range of
nice, but
excursions.
Due to
Trident's
an
gouging us for
unfortunate
everything.
accident, we're
All the
halting our
details in your
spacewalk experience for an...
I saw your little exchange with Vera. Keep that up and I guarantee that imbecile's gonna demand that you be arrested. Oh, absolutely. He's up the ladder at UC Security. Lots of pull. We have to handle this very delicately. No, it certainly didn't. But at least we know you've caught him on the back foot. There's clearly something going on between Vera, Swiss, and Dombrowski. But we need hard evidence to use it to our advantage. The problem is he's not gonna talk to you in public. We need to get Vera isolated so he'll spill everything he knows. Yeah, that's smart. Kill Vera, or anyone else involved in his conspiracy, and then Dombrowski heads for the hills. Besides, you really want to ace a member of UC Security and have them breathing down your neck? You'll be the top story on SSNN. No, there has to be a safer way. Maybe, but if something goes wrong and he's able to raise an alarm, we're sunk. With all of these wealthy patrons aboard, the ship is crawling with security. Smart. If there's an emergency, standard practice is for all passengers to clear the decks and report to their cabins for lockdown. I think the best chance we have would be to tamper with the life support sensors. Manipulate a few controls, and you can fool the monitoring system into thinking there's a life support failure. And there you have your emergency.
The notion of tampering with the life support had me worried for a moment there, but it sounds like you know what you're doing.
I have no idea what all of that technical jargon meant. But cause enough confusion, and it will buy us plenty of time. One more thing. If Chief Engineer Sundin gives you any trouble, tell him I'll erase that gambling debt he owes me. I prefer you use that as a last resort, but hey, what's the harm in losing a few credits when I'm on the brink of rejoining the fleet, right? Anyway, I better start packing. Things are getting hot around here, and won't be long before Trident figures out you had hell. On the surface, he's an upstanding citizen of the United Colonies, pretty high up in UC Security. Lots of clout with Mast. Underneath, he's a greedy piece of garbage. Given the chance, he'd backstab you for a cred stick and pin the murder on someone else. Come to think of it, if he wasn't such a petty tyrant, he'd probably thrive with the Crimson Fleet. All passengers are instructed to immediately report to their cabins. That way, we keep the halls clear and avoid a panic. Fortunately for us, all of the passenger cabin doors will automatically unlock. This is normally to ensure the crew can check cabins quickly and without interference. But in our case, it's like having an all-access pass. There's access to the crew section that you can reach through the Starfield ballroom. Chief Sundin should be there, wasting time at the station as usual. Have fun with that guy. He's a real piece of work. Once you're past Sundin, just look for the room marked Environmental Control. Everything you need is inside. As long as you... What's the status? Damn, that makes things more complicated. Okay. Don't bother talking with the ship's purser. Without a claim ID, you'll never get to the award. There's no way around it. You're gonna have to get the ID off of Sheila. Here, give her this. I'm certain it will help. And if you're thinking of pulling the trigger on poor Miss Holbrook, remember that any gunfire is gonna set off the ship's alarms. As long as you... What's the status? Like the ship's purser probably told you, it's because the system is completely automated. The only way you're gonna get the award is by using Sheila's claim ID. But she's not going to just hand it over. Here, give her this. I'm certain it'll... And if you're thinking of pulling... As long as you... What's the status? Don't you have somewhere to be?
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Must you continue these unwelcome interruptions? I'm a very busy woman. Excuse me? And why in goodness name would I do something as foolish as that? Oh my goodness. How did you know about that? There's no need to make a scene. If you're here to steal the award, there's nothing I can really do about that, is there? Here, take it.
Society chair is really
Don't you have
outdone
somewhere
herself this
better to
time.
be? From this point forward, I don't think we should be seen communicating. I believe our business has concluded. Goodbye. I believe our business has concluded. Goodbye.
I'm sorry, but unless you're reporting a security situation, I need to get back to my day.
That view is absolutely...
Captain Rokov is one of the most easygoing COs I've ever worked under. In fact, he doesn't act much like a captain at all.
There's some heavy security protecting this
hold
area.
up.
But judging from
area's
the
off limits
fact
to
that this is the life support control,
Wait a second.
certainly
You're
makes
Captain
sense.
Rokov's guest, right? Didn't expect to see you down here. Sorry to give you trouble. What can I do for you? Yeah, a little. A few of the techs call this deck the dungeon. I think you can see why. Not exactly Starliner-class comfort down here. Don't get me wrong. The quiet gives me time to gather my thoughts, catch up on work, and all that, but I'd rather work on the bridge. I'm the Siren's chief engineer. Trident put me in charge of the entire tech team. We do our best to keep the ship running smoothly and efficiently. Of course, this beauty is a cutting-edge piece of spacecraft design. Almost everything has triple redundancy, like the life support system. Unfortunately, that means there's quite a bit of downtime. Could be worse, though, right? Oh, sorry, that area is off limits. No exceptions. Ah, you're a fellow techie, huh? I can respect that. Tell you what, I'm just going to step out for a bit and stretch my legs. Maybe you can hold this for me while I'm away? Honestly, he's a seasoned ship captain. He told me he was a long hauler for years, and the experience shows. Only thing is, he's always talking about trade deals and plans for get-rich-quick schemes. It's all the guy ever thinks about. Why he decided to be a star liner captain, I'll never know. It's almost like he craves being around money. Tell you what, though, for someone that loves credit so much, he sure doesn't mind gambling them when we play cards. Yeah, a little. A few of the techs call this. Don't get me wrong. I'm the Siren's chief engineer. Trident put me in charge of the entire tech team. We do our best to keep the ship running smoothly and efficiently. Of course, this beauty is a cutting-edge piece of spacecraft design. Almost everything has triple redundancy, like the life support system. Unfortunately, that means there's quite a bit of downtime. Could be worse, though, right? Feel free to look around, but don't mess with any of the controls.
It appears that we've definitely ruined the party. Everyone's gone. passengers store their valuables while the siren is underway.
All passengers, may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
I was wondering if you were the cause of the ship-wide emergency. It's time you stop playing games and tell me why you're here. Doesn't take a genius to deduce you're the one that's responsible. I locked onto you from the moment you entered the ballroom, and I've watched you trying to clock Dombrowski. After we spoke, I had a feeling you'd pull a stunt like this. I always took him for a fool, but I can't believe he's stupid enough to have gotten mixed up with the Crimson Fleet. Still, why would I possibly want to incriminate myself by handing over any evidence? Don't act so surprised. You didn't really think I'd make a deal with Claudia or Dombrowski without having a little insurance policy of my own, did you? Huh? Learned anything in my years at the corporate fraud division, it's always have an exit strategy.
All passengers, may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide
I don't know where you got that information from, but it lines up with all the troubles I've been having getting my cut from that asshole. That means my money's already gone, and Dombrowski's going to walk away with a fortune. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't want to end up on the Crimson Fleet shit list. But if I give you that information and it falls into the wrong hands, I'll end up in jail. This is a lose-lose situation for me. Oh, I've got everything you're gonna need. This is a one-stop shop for you. We're talking a slate loaded with dates, account numbers, ID scans, even an audio recording. It was my little insurance policy in case the shit hit the fan. There's a solid enough trail here to send Dombrowski straight to jail. Dombrowski had the authorization to wipe out records on Galbank's system without raising any red flags. I let Claudia talk me into that. She said she had him wrapped around her finger. Apparently, she was wrong. At least I walk away with something. All right. You have yourself a deal. Here, with this slate and this recording to tie it all together, you'll be able to nail his ass to the wall. He'll do whatever you want. Just remember that you promised to leave me out of it. Well, since Claudia has been spending time disgustingly close to Dombrowski, I think she's suffered enough. On the other hand, I've got very, very special plans for Larry. I have some friends that can, well, let's just say, take care of the problem. That's if you leave him alive, of course. We'll just have to wait and see. All I can tell you is that there's more than a few people at Mast who find Commander Akande to be a huge pain in the ass. I mean, the UC is aware that the Crimson Fleet is a problem, but it pales in comparison to the issues with the Freestar Collective. Akande's loaded with big-picture ideas, but not a ton of evidence to put them into action. And frankly, it's driving my superiors crazy. All I can tell you is that there's more than a... I mean, Akande's loaded with big-picture ideas. All I can tell you... I mean, Akande's loaded... Just because I'm helping you nail Dombrowski doesn't mean I'm turning my back on UC security. How else am I going to ensure that he ends up behind bars when all this comes crashing down? No, You can leave me out of your merry little band of pirates. Thank you very much. All I can tell you is, the Conde's low. You better tell Dombrowski to run, because if you don't kill him, I will.
All passengers, may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
We don't have much more to say to each other, do we?
This ship is in a state of emergency. Immediately.
Well, well. You must be the one who's been accosting Claudia and Gabriel. I'm uncertain what you hope to accomplish here, but it appears we should rapidly enter into some sort of negotiation. You don't actually believe that I'd venture into such precarious criminal territory without a proper bird's-eye view of the situation, do you? I'm uncertain why you've become entangled in this spider's web, but this situation demands swift and resolute action. Au contraire, my misguided friend. There's a bargain that needs to be hammered out, and you will listen to the facts before we proceed. First, it's clear that you've obtained insider knowledge of my arrangement to defraud Galbank. The means and the method, perhaps, but not the motive. And second, I'm going to hypothesize that my compatriots are despondent regarding their share and have assisted you with this endeavor. Since we're speaking and I'm not at the reporting end of a bullet, this leads me to conclude that you desire something personal from me. You may as well ask, is it necessary for the sun to set on Jemison, or for one to wear a pressure suit when entering the vacuum of space? I see. Well, that certainly places a damper on our negotiations. Perhaps I can hasten my diatribe to temper your violence-ridden contribution. In blunt terms, you have compromising materials about me in your possession. The only thing I have to offer in return are my Galbank credentials. I assume that's what you've been angling for all along?
Oh, do get on with this. There's only so long I can stand being in the presence of this pig.
Well, I'm surprised you even posed that question at all. The answer is quite obvious. The last thing I'd want to do at this point is call attention to myself. Obviously, that wouldn't be my preference, but I have little choice. Though Larry Dombrowski will be mysteriously vanishing after this cruise, and possession of the credentials becomes ludicrous at that point. Oh, it was actually a rather easy deduction to make. It's the only thing of significant value that I still have in my possession.
All passengers,
It appears we've reached an accord. Wait, I'm sorry. Let me simplify that for you. It sounds like we have a deal. Oh, of course, I trust you'll understand if I ask for us to avoid any further contact. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to formulate how I'm going to utterly ruin two very annoying business associates. Good day.
think you need to get rid of some of that gear.
Siren of the Stars is now in emergency status.
Well, looks like everything worked out, just like we planned.
All passengers, may I have
I'm
your
glad one of
attention,
us did.
please?
I'm just hoping they put in a good word for me with Delgado. Otherwise, I've risked my career for nothing. You know, I'm still wondering exactly what you needed those credentials for. You feel like telling me, partner? I usually have a nose for these things, but in your case, it's a mystery. Very frustrating. Whatever the case may be, it's apparently worth risking your life over. That's telling me it involves a lot of money. That also means I want in. Ah, so he told you to keep it from me. I see. I wouldn't want you to risk your position with the fleet like I did, so I'll just leave it alone. Anyway, I suppose there's nothing stopping me from rejoining the fleet now. It's been a long time coming. I owe you one, Overreach. Don't worry, it's not an insult. It's a very old Russian word for comrade. It's what I intend to call you from now on, so get used to it. Yeah, I'm a bit short in that department myself. Perhaps I can pay you back later in some other way. Just look for me on the key, and I'll see what I can do. Well, I suppose this is where we part company. Hopefully the next time we meet, we'll be aboard the key. I need to pack up and get out of here. What is it now? What is it now? Now what?
All passengers, may I have your
and get out of
attention,
here.
please?
What is it now?
The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion. And remain there until you receive further instructions.